Claude Code can build a full booking website. Not a landing page, a real system. A public site, online booking, a database, and an admin dashboard. But there's a catch. If you just type, "build me a booking website," you'll usually end up with something half-finished, broken in places, and expensive to keep fixing. So in this video, I'll show you the exact workflow I use to build a real booking system with Claude Code, the right way. Here's what we're building. A customer lands on the site, picks a service, chooses a date and time, enters their details, and books. That booking gets saved in Supabase, and the business owner manages everything: appointments, services, availability from an admin dashboard without touching code. I'm using a home repair business for this example, but the same workflow fits cleaning services, barbershops, salons, restaurants, trainers, tutors, real estate, and a lot more. And here's the part most tutorials skip. By the end of this video, we won't just build it on my computer, we'll put it live on a real domain, and I'll make a booking on the live site to prove the whole system actually works start to finish. That live test at the end is the moment everything here is building toward. I also made a free guide for this video. Every prompt, the full SQL setup, the deployment steps, and ready-made projects you can open and customize. It's linked in the description. Let's build it. We'll do this in 4 steps. 1. Pick the booking niche. 2. Set up the Supabase backend. 3. Generate the website with Claude Code. 4. Deploy it live on Hostinger. And if you ever hit Claude Code limits, or you just don't want to start from zero, I'll also show you a faster path. Ready-made projects you can open, customize, and deploy. Both paths end the same way: a working booking website live online. Step 1 starts inside the guide. Choose your niche. Here's why this first step matters more than it looks. A booking website isn't one size fits all. A dental clinic isn't a cleaning service. A barbershop isn't a restaurant. A personal trainer isn't a real estate agent. The booking logic is similar, but the services, the wording, the design, and the customer flow all need to match the business. So inside the guide, I'll open step 1 and choose the booking type. For this tutorial, I'll use home repair. When I select home repair, the guide adapts the important parts for this niche, especially the prompt and the booking flow. So instead of giving Claude Code a generic booking website request, we're giving it a clearer plan for this specific business. The customer will pick a service, choose a date and time, then enter their contact details: name, email, phone, and an optional note. Simple, but important. Because before Claude Code builds anything, we need to be clear about what the system should actually do. That clarity now is what saves us from a broken app later. Niche selected. Now the website needs something real underneath it. Step 2. Set up the Supabase backend. Before we generate the website, we need to prepare the backend. Because a booking website is not just what people see on the screen, the design is only one part. Behind it, the system needs a place to store appointments, manage services, handle the admin account, and power the dashboard. That's what Supabase is for. It'll hold the services, the appointments, the business settings, the admin user, everything the booking system will need once Claude Code builds the website. So let's set it up first. I'll go to Supabase. If you don't have an account yet, you can click Start Your Project and create a free account. Supabase has a free tier, so it's enough for this tutorial. Once I'm inside the dashboard, I'll click New Project. For the project name, I'll use something simple: Home Repair Booking. Then Supabase asks for a database password. We won't use this password directly in this part of the tutorial, but it's still important, so save it somewhere safe. Next, I'll choose the region. For this demo, I'll keep it on Europe, but for a real client, choose the region closest to the people who will actually use the website. I'll leave the other options as they are, then click Create New Project. Now Supabase will create the backend. Once the project is ready, the first thing we need to do is create the admin user. This is the account the business owner will use later to log into the dashboard. So from the sidebar, I'll go to Authentication, then Users, then I'll click Add User and choose Create New User. For this demo, I'll use this email, admin@homerepair.com. Then I'll add a password and create the user. After creating the user, I need to copy the user ID. This ID is important because we'll use it in the SQL setup to give this account admin access. So later, when we log into the dashboard, the system knows this user is allowed to manage the booking website. Now I'll go back to the guide. Inside step 2, I'll open the full Setup SQL section. Here, I'll paste the admin user ID. And now, the guide prepares the SQL code for this project. You'll also see another option called Step-by-Step SQL Setup. That option is optional. It's useful if you want to understand the setup piece by piece. But for this tutorial, we'll use the faster option, Full Setup SQL. This single script creates the main database structure for the booking system. It creates the main tables, adds sample home repair services, connects the admin user, and prepares the security rules. So instead of creating everything manually inside Supabase, which can be slow and easy to get wrong, the guide gives us one clean setup. I'll copy the full SQL code. Then I'll go back to Supabase. From the sidebar, I'll open the SQL editor. I'll paste the code here. Then I'll click Run. Once it succeeds, the main backend setup is done. Now let's quickly check that everything was created correctly. I'll go to the table editor, and here we can see the tables created by the SQL script. For example, we have a table for admin access, a table for customer appointments, and a table for the services that will appear on the website. These services are not just static text. Later, the owner will be able to manage them from the dashboard. The SQL setup also prepared something important called RLS policies. RLS means row-level security. In simple words, these policies control who can read, create, or update data. For example, customers can create bookings, while the admin can manage bookings and services from the dashboard. So now Supabase is ready. We have the database structure, the admin user, the sample services, the appointments table, and the security rules. That means Claude Code will not be building on an empty project. It will have a real backend ready to connect to. Now we can move to step 3, generate the website with Claude Code. The backend is ready. Now it's time to generate the actual website with Claude Code. I'm building this inside VS Code, and here's why. It keeps the entire project in one place. Claude works directly with the project files, so there's no copying code back and forth from a chat window. If you haven't set this up yet, it's quick. Download VS Code. It's free and it works on both Windows and Mac. Then open the Extensions tab, search for Claude Code, install it, and sign in with your Claude account. If you want the full beginner walkthrough, I've got a separate video on installing and using Claude Code for the first time. Links in the description. For now, let's keep going with this project. First, I'll create a clean folder for the website. File, then Open Folder. I'll name it Home Repair Booking and open it in VS Code. This empty folder is now our workspace. To open Claude Code, I'll click the Claude icon inside VS Code. And now it's ready to work right here. Back to the guide. Inside step 3, we've got prompt 1, built to generate the full project in one go. The public website, the booking flow, the structure needed to connect with Supabase, and the admin dashboard. This is why we're not typing something like, build me a booking website. A real system needs clear instructions from the start. I'll click Show Full Prompt to review it, then copy. Back in Claude Code, I'll paste it in. Before sending, one setting matters. Keep Claude on Edit Automatically. This lets it create and edit the project files directly while it builds. There are other modes available, but for this tutorial, Edit Automatically is the right call. And if you're a beginner, skip Bypass Permissions. It gives Claude more freedom than you'll want at this stage. Now I'll send the prompt, and Claude starts creating the project files inside this folder. This takes a bit of time, and that's completely normal. We're not asking for a simple landing page. We're asking Claude to build public pages, a full booking flow, a Supabase connection, and an admin dashboard, all at once. Once it's done, we need to run the project locally first. For that, you'll need node.js. It's free, and it lets us preview the website on our own computer before deploying it online. If you don't have it yet, grab it from the node.js website and install it. Then come back to VS Code. I'll open the terminal, then new terminal, and run npm install. This installs everything the project needs. You only do this once, the first time you open a new project. Once that finishes, npm run dev. This starts the local version of the site. Vite gives us a local link. I'll open it in the browser. And here it is. Claude has generated a full home repair booking website straight from the prompt. A professional homepage, service sections, a booking flow, and an admin area. Let me scroll through quickly so you can see the structure. Now, the first version doesn't need to be perfect. You can always tweak the design, swap images, update the copy, or ask Claude to polish specific sections later. What matters right now is simple. The project exists, and it's running locally. Before we connect everything and test the real booking flow, let me show you another path, because I know a lot of you hit Claude Code limits quickly, especially without a larger plan. I didn't want that to stop anyone from following along or building real projects. So inside the guide, I put together ready-made project kits for many different booking niches. It took a lot of work to prepare, but the goal was to make this easier and cheaper to start. Inside Step 3, you'll find an optional section called Start from a Ready-Made Project. For this example, that's the home repair booking website. Opening it takes you to the full project page, where you can preview it on desktop, tablet, and mobile before downloading, so you know exactly what you're starting with. To grab the files, click Open GitHub Project. And these kits are free, so instead of burning more Claude Code credits generating everything from scratch, you can start from a finished project and customize it. Once GitHub opens, click Code, then Download Zip. Unzip the file, then back in VS Code, File, Open Folder, and open the project folder. Now you've got the complete booking website on your computer, no generation from zero, no extra Claude Code credits used. From here, customize it with Claude Code. Change the business name, update the services, swap the images, adjust the colors, make it fit your client or your niche. So you've got two paths: build from prompt 1, like I'm doing here, or start from a ready-made kit and customize from there. Either way, you land in the same place. We still need to add our Supabase keys, connect the real backend, and properly test the booking system. You'll notice the project is still running in demo mode right now. That's expected. At this stage, all I wanted to confirm was that the website generated correctly and runs locally. I'm not pasting Supabase keys directly into the code. The cleaner approach is adding them later as environment variables during deployment on Hostinger. That way, the live site connects to Supabase properly with nothing hard-coded inside the project. So, with the project built and the local preview working, we're ready for the part that matters most: deploying it live and connecting it to the real Supabase backend. The project works locally, but locally isn't enough. A booking website only becomes useful when customers can open it online, book an appointment, and the owner can manage those bookings from anywhere. So let's put it live. I'll go back to the guide and open Step 4, Deploy the website live. Keep this open while you follow along. Deployment has a few moving parts, and the checklist makes it easy to avoid missing a step. First, we need Git. Git is the tool that prepares the project and sends it to GitHub. If it's not installed yet, click Download Git in the guide. It works on both Mac and Windows, and setup is simple. Download it, install it, then come back. With Git ready, we connect VS Code to GitHub. Back in VS Code, there's a sign-in button at the top. I'll click it. If you don't see it, click the profile icon in the bottom left corner, choose Backup and Sync Settings, and continue from there. I'll choose Continue with GitHub. This opens the browser so GitHub can authorize VS Code. I'll continue with my account, then click Authorize Visual Studio Code, and head back to the editor. To confirm it worked, I'll click the profile icon again. And there's my GitHub account. VS Code is connected. Now we create a GitHub repository, simply the online home for the project files. Hostinger will pull from this repository later to deploy the site. On GitHub, I'll click Create Repository. If your dashboard looks different, you might see a New button instead. Same thing. For the name, I'll match the project, Home Repair Booking. That keeps everything easy to find later. I'll leave the description empty. The option that matters here is visibility. For a real project or client site, choose Private so your files aren't public on the internet. I'll leave the rest untouched. No README, no gitignore, no license, since the project already exists on my computer. Then, create repository. GitHub gives us a fresh, empty repository. The one thing I need from this page is the HTTPS repository URL. I'll copy it. Now back to the guide. Inside Step 4, there's a safe GitHub push prompt, and this one matters. It tells Claude Code to do exactly one job: prepare the project and push it to GitHub safely. No design changes, no touching the booking flow, no touching the Supabase logic. It also makes sure private files, like your environment file, never get pushed. So I'll open Customize Prompt, paste the repository URL, and the guide builds the correct prompt for this exact repository. I can review the full prompt if I want, then copy it. Back in Claude Code, I'll paste the safe GitHub push prompt and send it. Claude now inspects the project and prepares it for GitHub, without rebuilding anything. Along the way, it may ask for permission to run a few commands. When you see that, click Yes. This lets it initialize Git, prepare the commit, and connect the project to your repository. After a moment, Claude asks how I want to authenticate the push. I'll choose I'll push it myself. I like this because Claude prepares everything locally, but I keep control of the final push. I'll select it and click Submit Answers. Claude confirms the repository is ready. Commit created, remote connected, and private files like the environment file safely excluded. Now I'll open Source Control from the left sidebar. If you don't see it, go to View, then Source Control. VS Code shows the project with a Publish Branch button. I'll click it. If it asks for permission to sign in or allow GitHub access, click Allow. VS Code pushes the project up. Let's confirm. Back on the GitHub repository, I'll refresh, and there we go. The project files are uploaded. The source files, the Supabase folder, the package files, the configuration. But here's the part that matters. The private environment file was not uploaded. Exactly what we want. Back to the guide. The next step is creating the Hostinger Node.js web app, where we take the project from GitHub and publish it online. I'll click Open Hostinger. You'll also find my Hostinger link in the description, so you can open the same hosting page directly. I use Hostinger for this workflow because it runs Node.js web apps, connects to GitHub, and makes deployment for projects like this much simpler. Once it opens, I'll click View Plans. Hostinger shows the available options, and the exact plan name isn't what matters. What matters is that the plan supports Node.js web apps, because this project was built with React and Vite, so it needs hosting that can run a real web app, connect to GitHub, and accept environment variables. The business plan includes managed Node.js web apps, enough for this tutorial, and it handles regular websites too, so one account covers more than just this project. If you're planning to deploy many client sites, Cloud Startup gives you more resources and more web apps. For this demo, I'll go with business. Next, the billing period. A longer term usually gives the lowest monthly price, but pick whatever fits you. I'll choose 12 months. And before you continue, use the code PROFITSTUDIO for an extra discount. I'll click Have a Coupon Code, type Profit Studio, and Apply. Discount applied. I'll click Continue. Hostinger asks me to create an account or log in. I'll use Google, the fastest option here. Then choose your payment method. I'll use a card and submit. Once hosting is ready, Hostinger asks where to start. I'll choose Create a New Site. Then it asks how I want to build it, and this part matters. Not the drag-and-drop builder, not WordPress. I'll choose Node.js web app because our booking site is a real app built from code. Then Next. Now the domain, the address people use to open the site. My plan includes a free domain, so I'll search for something simple for this demo, like profitdemo.com. Once it's available, I'll select it and click Next. Hostinger asks where the audience is located. Choose the closest to your visitors or your client's customers. For this demo, United States, then Next. Now, how to import the project. I'll choose Import Git Repository and connect with GitHub. This is exactly why we pushed to GitHub earlier. GitHub becomes the bridge between our code and Hostinger. Update the project later, push the changes, and we redeploy from the same place. I'll click Connect with GitHub. Hostinger asks for permission to access your repositories. I'll click Install and Authorize, then continue with GitHub. Now it shows the repositories in my account. Here's the one we created. I'll select it and click Continue. We're on the Build Settings page and Hostinger detects most of it automatically. For the framework preset, it's already selected Vite, correct for this project, so I'll leave it. The branch is main, and I'll keep the default Node.js version. Now the important part, environment variables. This is where we add the values that shouldn't live inside the code. For this booking website, we need two from Supabase, Vite Supabase URL and Vite Supabase anon key. Write these names exactly. The project is expecting these specific names. Back to Supabase. From the project overview page, I'll copy the project URL. That's the value for Vite Supabase URL, and paste it in. Then back to Supabase for the publishable key. Older tutorials call this the anon key. The current dashboard shows it as publishable key, but it still goes into Vite Supabase anon key. I'll copy it and paste it here. Both values are in. This is the clean way to connect a live site to Supabase. The keys live inside Hostinger as environment variables, ready for the app to use during deployment, instead of sitting inside the code. Now I'll click Finish. Everything checks out, so I'll click Deploy. Hostinger starts deploying from GitHub. This takes a few minutes. You can open the build logs to watch what's happening. Hostinger is installing the project, building the Vite app, and preparing it for the live domain. When it's done, you'll see Deployment Completed. I'll click Go to Dashboard. Inside, I can see the site is connected to GitHub, the deployment is complete, SSL is active, and auto deployment is on. Now, the moment we've been building toward. Let's open the live website. I'll click the domain. And there it is. The booking site is live on a real domain, no longer running only on my computer. I'll scroll through. The homepage is working. The services are showing. the design is loading exactly right. Let's check the admin area. I'll click admin, and it loads correctly too, so the routes are working. But opening the website isn't the real test. The real question is whether the live site is actually connected to the Supabase backend. So let's run a real booking. Back on the homepage, I'll click Book Your Repair. I'll choose a service, Electrical Repair Visit, and click Continue. Now a date and time. I'll pick this open slot and click Continue. Then the customer details, name, phone, email, and a short note for the technician. And confirm booking. There's the confirmation screen. So from the customer side, the flow works, but a confirmation screen isn't proof. The real question is, did this appointment actually save in the backend? To find out, I'll open the admin dashboard. I'll click Admin from the navigation. If you build a different niche and don't see admin in the menu, check the footer, or just type your website address followed by /admin. I'll sign in with the admin account we created back in step 2. Same email, same password. Email, password, sign in. And we're inside the dashboard. It looks clean and professional, and the booking we just made is already here. I'll open the appointments page. There it is. Same customer name, same service, same date and time, same phone, email, and notes. The public booking form and the admin dashboard are connected. Let's verify it one more place, inside Supabase itself. I'll go back to Supabase, open the table editor, and select the appointments table. And here it is, the appointment we just created, saved in the database. So now we know the whole system is working. The live website, the Supabase backend, and the admin dashboard, all connected start to finish. From here, the business owner manages everything without touching code. In services, they can edit services, change prices, update durations, turn services on or off, or add new ones. And because it's connected to the backend, those changes show up on the public site. In business hours, they set the weekly availability. In blocked dates, they block days the business isn't taking bookings. Holidays, off-site days, maintenance. And in settings, they update the business info and booking preferences. Now, you might wonder, what if you want a bigger feature later? A new section, a new Supabase table, something more advanced in the dashboard. That's absolutely possible. But for this video, I kept the workflow focused because the real foundation is already here. But there's one thing left that makes this whole setup worth it. What happens when you need to change something after it's already online? In real projects, this comes up all the time. The client wants a different headline, some new text, a tweak to a section, a cleaner homepage. So let me show you the update workflow. You'll see how simple it really is. Back in VS Code, I'll ask Claude Code for a small change. For this example, I'll update the homepage headline. Here's the prompt. Change the homepage hero headline to Book Trusted Home Repair Services Online. Keep the same layout and design. Claude updates the file. But before pushing anything live, always test the change locally first. The project's already installed from earlier, so this time I only need npm run dev. Vite gives me the preview link. I'll open it and check the homepage. And there it is, the new headline, same clean layout, exactly right. Here's something important though. If you don't like a change, or Claude edits something you didn't ask for, you can undo it before it ever goes live. Open Source Control and VS Code shows you every file that changed. Right-click the changed file, choose Discard Changes, and it goes straight back to the previous version. So you can experiment freely. As long as you review before you commit, you stay in full control. In my case, I like the new headline, so I'll keep it and push it live. In Source Control, I'll write a short commit message. Just a note describing what changed, like Update Homepage Headline. This is for your own project history, so later you can remember what each update was about. Then I'll click Commit. VS Code might say there are no stage changes and ask if I want to stage everything and commit directly. I'll click Yes. The commit is now saved locally. The last step is Sync Changes. I'll click it, and this sends the update up to GitHub. And here's the payoff of connecting everything earlier. I don't go back to Hostinger and deploy by hand. Hostinger sees the new commit and redeploys the site on its own. After a moment, I'll refresh the live domain, and the new headline is live. So that's the full update loop. Make the change, test it locally, review it, commit, sync, and Hostinger updates the live site automatically. And once that loop clicks, you're not limited to one site. You can run more projects on the same hosting account. Back in Hostinger, go to Websites, then Add Website, and choose Node.js Web App again. From here, it's the exact same flow you already saw. Pick a domain or subdomain. A temporary one is fine if you just want to test. Choose Import Git repository, connect with GitHub, select the repo, add the environment variables if the project needs them, and deploy. Same steps every time. So once this workflow makes sense to you, you just repeat it, one client project after another. And this is the real value here, because what we built isn't a demo. It's a practical booking system a local business can actually use to take appointments, manage services, control availability, and run the whole thing from a dashboard. Don't underestimate that. A lot of local businesses still don't have a proper online booking system. If you can build it, customize it, deploy it, and maintain it for them, that's a real service you can offer. And yes, this kind of project can make money because it solves a real problem. A business isn't paying for code. They're paying for a working system that saves them time, brings in bookings, and makes them look more professional online. And if you want to make it even stronger, I've got separate videos on adding email notifications and SMS notifications. So customers get a confirmation and the owner gets alerted the moment a new booking comes in. You'll find those upgrade videos linked in the guide. But you don't need them to start. What we built today is already enough to offer as a real project. So let's bring it home. The booking website is live. The backend is connected. The admin dashboard works. And now you know how to update it after it's online. That's the full workflow, from zero to live. If this helped you, hit like, subscribe for more builds like this one, and grab the guide in the description to follow every step yourself. And tell me in the comments, which niche should I build next? I'll see you in the next one.